my name is Nur Fatihah binti Adi Zulkarnain. My matrix number is 2024685364. I'm here to present my slide regarding the business background. The business that we have been choosing is GC Lim & Co. This business operates as sole proprietorship and was established on 20 August 2001. GC Lim & Co is located at Bandar Damansara Perdana, Petaling Jaya, Selangor. For honest capital, this business does not rely on honest capital because they focus on efficient financial management and maintain a stable cash flow. For business activity, GC Lim & Co provide audit, assurance, and tax services to help clients ensure financial accuracy, compliance, and optimize their tax strategy. Next, we will move to business characteristics.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Fazlina binti Muhammad Saleh. Matrix number 2019337139. Today, I would like to present to you about the business characteristic. Number one is sole proprietorship. As a sole proprietorship, the business is fully owned by GC Lim. The owner has complete control over the operation, decision-making, and valuation of the business. However, the owner also bears unlimited personal liability for any debts or legal issues that arise. Second, professional services. The business focuses on providing audit assurance and tax services. This indicates that the company is involved in offering specialized professional service to clients, primarily in the fields of accounting, auditing, and taxation. The business caters to individuals or corporate clients who require assistance with compliance, financial reporting, and tax filing. Number three is small business size. With 9 employees, the business is relatively small. This size allows for close-knit operation, where the owner can directly manage daily activities and maintain personal relationships with clients. The size also suggests that the firm might provide a more customized and flexible service to its clients, which can be a competitive and advantage in the professional service sector. Number four is local market focus. The firm operates from an office located in Petaling Jaya, Selangor, suggesting that its client base is likely to be local businesses or individuals within the region. Being centrally located in a business hub like Bandar Damansara Perdana can provide easy access to potential clients in the surrounding area. Number five is service quality and client relationship. Due to the nature of the business, the firm's success heavily relies on the quality of its services. Maintaining strong client relationship, adhering to professional standards, and ensuring the accuracy of audit and tax filings are critical for sustaining revenue and reputation. And the last point is simplicity in operation. As a small business, GC Lim & Co likely benefits from simplicity and flexibility in its operations, allowing it to adapt quickly to change in client needs or regulatory requirements. However, the size of the business also means that the firm may face challenge related to limited capacity, especially in scaling operations or dealing with a large volume of clients.
My name is Zeti and I will continue on part 3 analysis classification of business items. There are 5 key elements of accounting, which is assets, liabilities, revenue, expenses, and honest equity. So I will briefly explain on these 5 elements of accounting. So the first one is asset, which is any resource owned or controlled by an entity that is expected to provide future economic benefits. So for example, there is cash, inventory, or prepaid expenses. And then the second element is liabilities. So liabilities is obligations or debts that a business owes to external parties. So for example, loans or accrued expenses. Third element is revenue, which is income generated by the business from its primary activities. So the fourth element is expenses, which is cost incurred by a business in the process of generating revenue. The last element is honest equity, which is residual interest in the assets of a business after deducting its liabilities. Moving on to the classification of business items at GC Lim & Co. So 4 elements at GC Lim & Co, which is asset, liabilities, revenue, and expenses. As mentioned earlier by Fatihah, there is no capital in this organization. So for asset, there are 2 types of asset, which is current asset and non-current asset. So what are the difference between these two? So current asset are short-term asset convertible to cash within a year, while non-current asset is long-term investment and resources used in in its operation. At GC Lim and Co, current asset under current asset there are trade debtors, which is their clients, and then deposits and prepayments, which is TNB deposits, Shabas deposits, okay, and then cash in hand, which is petty cash, and then cash in bank. So while for non-current asset, there are signage, server, furniture, and motor vehicle. These are the image of non-current asset at GC Lim and Co. So there are office furniture, office equipment, and signage. Okay, while for current asset, as we know, current asset are mostly cash. So it is quite PNC. It is not provided by GC Lim and Co for us to provide in this presentation. Okay, moving on to the next one, liabilities. So there are two types of liabilities, which is non-current liabilities and current liabilities. So what are the difference between these two? So for current liabilities is debts due in a year, while non-current liabilities are long-term obligations payable over a period longer than a year. Okay, so at GC Lim and Co, there are only current liabilities, which is trade creditors, subwork fee, and then accruals, payroll, which is statutory, EPF, so EIS. Okay, and then the third one is provision for taxation, which is tax installment, CP 500, notice bayaran ansuran, and then SST, and then the last one is hire purchase, which is their motor vehicle, their car installment. The last part of classification of business items is expenses and revenue. So GC Lim and Co spend on staff welfare, which is they provide sport incentive. So they sometimes play badminton, pickleball, ping pong, or any sport. And then the next one is printing and stationeries, entertainment, which GC Lim and Co do have annual dinner, and they do provide staff meal, which is lunch from time to time. And then rental of premise, which is their current office rental. And then the last one is medical expenses, which will be claimed by the staff. Okay, now because of GC Lim and Co is an audit firm, so their business nature provide audit assurances and tax services. So therefore, their revenues are audit fee and tax fee. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti Nurliana binti Muhammad Isa. My student number is 2024611434. So today I'm going to explain step on how business process and record its financial transaction sale for GC Lim and Co company. So for the first step, they will listing and monitoring the outgoing invoice that they will send to their client, and move forward to the second step. They will issue the invoice manually and not key in the invoice into the software yet, and move forward to the step 3, which is they will key in the invoice through AutoCount, which is the AutoCount is the software that the company use to help them in accounting, inventory control, invoicing, and also smooth the function of a business, and move forward to the step 4, which is they will start to generate the invoice statement. For the step 5, they will issue the invoice to the client. And for the last step, which is step 6, they will receive a company revenue, which is from the client payment, which is CR is sales and revenue, and DR is a trade debtor. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum to Madam Rohana. My name is Farhan Abdul Jafri. My matrix number is 2024-451408. And today I will be explaining the steps on how business processes and records its financial transaction. And this is for expenses part. And the example is the rental of premises. So the first step is where we do the documentation, where we receive the invoice from the landlord. And the next step is where we process the payment voucher, and usually we will process the payment voucher via AutoCount, the system that we use in GC Lim and Co. And then next step is where we initiate the online payment, and this step usually done by the maker. The next step after initiate online payment is where we get the approval for the online payment, and this one is usually done by the checker. And the final step of this transaction is where we send out the payment slip for record of reference or reference to the landlord. This one is to notify the landlord that we already made the payment, and this transaction is where we debit the expenses and credit the bank.
My name is Siti Nurliana binti Muhammad Isa. So I will continue to explain about step on how business process and record its financial transaction. So for the previous video, me and Farah have explained about the transaction for sales and expenses that money in and out from the company. So right now I will explain about how they do their financial statement. So after the transaction, the second step they will do a documentation, which is the documentation is the accounting record or document and file that contain financial data and are used to prepare a company financial statement that including the documentation including invoice, bank statement, financial statement, ledger and journal, payroll slip, loan and agreement, purchase order and delivery form, and also cash receipt. After documentation, we will proceed to the step 3, which is processing JV, PV, and RV. So what is JV, PV, and RV and the function of it in the company? So the JV is general voucher. General voucher is the document that record financial transaction and accounting entires, and it can help in correct error in record check, cash receipt and other expenditure, also allocate trust for shared activities between department and providing funding to the other department. And for the PV is the payment voucher, is a document that records a business payment to a supplier for a purchase order, and it had to record financial transaction, track payment, support accounting, also approve a payment. And the last one is RV, or known as receipt voucher, is a document that a company issues to prove a monetary receipt and to track money. So that is JV, PV and RV that the company use. So move forward to step 4, that we initiate a trial balance. So trial balance is will help company to verify the accuracy of a company accounting records and to identify error in financial statement. So after they initiate the trial balance, they will move forward to the last step, which is they will do a balance sheet and profit and loss. So balance sheet is help company to track company financial position, and for a profit and loss, also known as income statement, is a financial report that summarize a business revenue, expenses and profitability over a specific period. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Afizuddin bin Muhammad Tamizi. My matrix number is 2024158697. So today I will be presenting the strength of the financial recording process used by GC Lim & Co. This includes how to process improve efficiency and minimize error, specifically focusing on outgoing invoice and the auto count system. First one, easy to track. For example, every invoice has a unique number. For instance, invoice #101 for client A is easy to locate in the system. This allows us to quickly check whether is it being paid or is still outstanding, saving time during cash flow review. The benefit is this ensures no invoices are overlooked, reducing the risk of the payment delay. Next, avoid overlapping invoice number. The system generates sequential invoice number like #101, 102, and 103. For instance, if you are issuing invoice for client B and C, each will have unique number, you can avoiding duplication. The benefit is this eliminates error that could cause confusing with client or during audits. Next, easy to key in. The system uses template for data entry. For example, when entering an audit fee for client D, we just select the service type and fill in the amount. This saves time and ensures uniformity across invoice. Benefit is streamline the recording process and reduce the overload for staff. Avoid mistake. The system automatically hides error. For instance, if the total amount of the invoice doesn't match the sum of the item, the system will alert the user. This helps avoid costly mistakes such as undercharging or overcharging a client. The benefit is it can ensure the accuracy of all financial records and build trust with client. In summary, the strength of our recording process include: first, outgoing invoice is efficiency tracking and error-free numbering. However, for auto count system, It can simplify data entry and built-in error detection. These features can save time, improve accuracy, and help maintain professional standard in our financial operation. That's all for me. Thank you.
For the weaknesses in outgoing invoices, GC Lim & Co. uses to key in their data manually and is dependent on the system server. Manually keying in the data may lead to increase in mistakes by users, such as wrong amount key in. It is also a very time-consuming as it's a very slow process which users needed to use a lot of their time and effort. It is also depends on their system server, which means if the server is down, they are unable to access the system and may lead to delay in work. It could also potentially lead to data loss or corruption due to hardware failure. For AutoCount system, they uses a very strict method as only one user is allowed to use the system at a time. This caused to be inflexible, which may not be aligned with a specific needs or processes. User may found it to be very frustrating and may lead to potential error on their part. Users also needed to key in their data one by one. If, say, there is a lot of data needed to be keyed in, users may find it very tedious and time-consuming, which may lead to difficulty in scaling work. It will find increasingly unmanageable and may lead to delay and backlog. GC Lim & Co. needed to find a more efficient and reliable way to key in their data in outgoing invoices and AutoCount system. For example, they can use an integrated AutoCount system that can auto-sync their data and minimize repeated input.